Hey guys, so I've been meaning to do this video for a while, but in honor of National Fragrance Month, which is November, I thought I should go ahead and do it now. So basically, this video is about how I store my fragrance samples. So the little samples that you get with purchases or in different beauty boxes, this is how I store mine. So obviously I've collected quite a few, and I have kind of changed my method. I think at one time I just had like one of these that I stored fragrance samples in, but I've kind of expanded to fit my collection. So I will go ahead and kind of give you an overview of what system I'm using here. So this is one of the drawers of, I don't know what it's called, but it's from IKEA. It's like a 3-drawer box that fits inside one of those squares in the the typical IKEA bookshelf. So I just took it out. I will insert a picture so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then I have inside of it, dig this one out. So this is empty. It's a spare one. And I think I got these from, the Container Store. So apparently they were $3.49. And these are by the company Box, I guess. And it doesn't have the dimensions on here, I don't think, but the Container Store is really good about putting the dimensions of all their products on their website. So I will try to include a link to these units. So squeeze that back in there. The way I do this is I've done it alphabetically. And rather than just do A through C or whatever, I thought it would be fun to actually use names of perfume brands to kind of break it up. So I have here Armani to Burberry, Chanel, Dior, Escada to Guerlain, Hermes to Lancome, Marc Jacobs to ... I need to make a new label, so that's one reason I thought it would be a good time to do this video. I also need to make another label for the first part of the range up here, and then I have Tom Ford to YSL, and as I showed you, I have an empty one here, so I have kind of room to grow. And the choices you make in terms of the labels, I kind of just chose brands that I liked or that I have a fair number of those samples, so it would make sense to kind of identify it that way. Your perfume collection may vary. You may have more of one brand or another, or you may need to kind of break it out separately. And I'll show you here. So I have one of those perfume cards, and I actually had to cut it a little bit to fit. And this just helps the samples kind of stay upright. So they're not kind of flopping all over the place. And like this one, I had to use 2 just because there weren't as many, and eventually if you get enough you won't need these at all, but that just helps them kind of stay upright. And another thing, I think many brands are organized this way. Even if it's someone's last name, like Stella McCartney, I'm using her first name as the brand name to kind of organize it. So this represents S, the letter S. Tom Ford is the letter T, and so on. That's just kind of the executive decision, I guess, I made to organize it that way. You may do it differently. It's your collection. You can organize it however you like. But these are really nice because they have a little bit of a lip on them. So, for example, if there's a Chanel perfume that I want to see if I have a sample of, because obviously with this many you kind of don't know offhand what you might have. What I kind of do, so this is clean, and it's another, that's Carven. But anyway, with this lip you can kind of put the little vials there and not, flip them over. But anyway, you can kind of take out or empty this little segment of your collection and kind of sort through them. This is Cartier. This is a Coco Noir, Chanel. You may, organize it by brand or however you like. Anyway, so that's something I found helpful with these particular little units. They also stack. I can get this one out. They stack on top of one another, so these are a good size for this particular IKEA unit, but if you have like a closet or some other drawer system that's a little bit deeper, you could stack them on top of one another and put the labels on the side, however you want to do it. So I will show you how I make the labels. Okay, so this is a Brother label maker. I'm not sure exactly what the model is. If I can find it, I will share it, but this is, I think it's the sample that came with it, but it's a white background with black letters. They also make clear labels. I like the white because it kind of pops a little bit more and you can see it better. And just put it in there. Obviously you can use any sort of label maker you have. And is this one plugged in? No. So this one is powered by outlet. Anyway, and now I have to figure out which font I used. That might be it. I think it's this one. It says US here. I don't know what that actually means. And size, auto. I guess we can go with that and see what it looks like. I made the original labels a while ago, so it's a bit trial and error. Okay, so what I decided to do, so this is going from Marc Jacobs, which is M, to P, so I chose Prada, because they make a lot of, they make a lot of perfumes. I have to hold down the shift. Okay, so I just typed in Prada and see what comes out. I think this is too big. I do think it's the correct font, but I think it's too big. Okay, so I think that looks like the right font size. And just for the record, that was 24, and the font again is US, which I don't know what that means. So that's the width that it cut it to. I think if the text is longer, I don't know if the allowance is different, so you may have to trim it to size, but that looks pretty good. So you just peel off. It has a split backing. And with anything like this, I think it helps to kind of lay it down in the middle. Try to get it even. Is that close enough? So by kind of placing it in the middle and letting it expand out, it just helps avoid air bubbles or anything to that effect. So now we have the next one, and I need to start with the letter R. So I'm just going to use the same settings, and I chose to use Replica, again, because I have a lot of those perfumes, and again, it just kind of depends on how you think of a perfume. The actual perfume house, I think, is Maison Margiela or something like that, but Replica is bigger on the bottle, so it's what would kind of come to mind. And I have, Marc Jacobs is very prolific in his fragrances, so I have a lot of M's already. So, oh, I did forget one thing. So Replica, and then I need to use, should I just use a normal hyphen? Because with the range, you want it to be over here, so. Alright, I'll print another one of those. And if I didn't mention it already, I am using 24mm wide tape. That is just under an inch. So I think I could still fit the full label, but I think I like the look of trimming it because then you can actually see a little bit better what fragrances or how many you have inside the container. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and eyeball it. And I think I might actually peel up this Prada and do the same thing. They're somewhat forgiving. I think these are, I don't know if they're supposed to be permanent or removable. They make a lot of different types. So trim this other side. And again, just try to center it, and it's not perfect, but anyway, I think that looks a little bit better. And this one, it's kind of going from the bottom, but yeah, you see how this one has kind of more, I don't know, wrinkles in it. You can kind of try and iron them out, but I think that looks good enough. So anyway, that is how I store my vial samples. I'd like to film a video on my kind of full-size bottle collection, and I can do a video on my mini collection, like, you know, those little kind of deluxe samples that you get sometimes. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. And obviously, like I said, sometimes you get duplicates of a certain fragrance, and I try to, unless I really like the fragrance, I try not to have multiples or, you know, 5, 6 samples of the same fragrance, just because it takes up space. So I have a giveaway, and it's not a huge giveaway, but if you are interested in perfume, you might be interested in this. I have this bag of perfume samples. So I have Daisy Marc Jacobs Maude Noir. I don't know if they're still making this or if it was limited, but I have a sample of that. Also a sample of Daisy Oh So Fresh. I have a sample of Michael Kors Wanderlust Philosophy Amazing Grace. This is actually an Eau de Toilette. So is this one. That's an Eau de Parfum, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum. So I'm not an expert on kind of perfume science, if you will, but if you're not aware, Eau de Toilettes are generally lighter than an Eau de Parfum, so maybe more daytime appropriate, or if you don't want something overpowering, it's a good phrase or descriptor to look for. Flora Botanica by Balenciaga, Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture, Chloe Fleur de Parfum, and then 2 Nest fragrances. This is Midnight Fleur and Dahlia and Vines. So there's 10 samples there. And if you are interested in winning, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video telling me what your favorite fall/winter perfume is. And I will probably have it open for, I want to say, let's do 2 weeks. So if you're interested in winning, follow those parameters and I will randomly pick a winner after 2 weeks. So one last thing I wanted to mention, if you are interested in kind of sample packs like this and you do not win this giveaway, I do have an eBay store where I kind of put together, usually I do a dozen, just why not, inside some sort of cute bag or something, and I usually sell them for about $10 plus shipping, which is generally kind of in the $3 range for shipping. So if you are interested in just kind of sampler packs, or if you have a holiday coming up or a birthday and you want to just get an inexpensive gift for someone, I will provide a link to my eBay store, and you can check those out. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.